intro. Then I'm gonna have you introduce yourself. You ready?
Yeah. We're on right now, or what's up?
Yeah. Do you need a second before you get ready?
Oh no, I just didn't know if we were like preferencing or anything. Do you need my camera on?
No. There's if you want it on, I'll leave that up to you.
Well, I mean, is it going
It's
on
not
video?
necessary.
All right, well we'll just roll without it then. No big deal.
If you want it on video, either way.
Oh,
That's
you know what? I don't have a webcam. Why am I even asking that? I'm looking at my monitor. I'm like, I don't even have. I just upgraded computers and I'm used to having a webcam. No, I don't got one anymore.
okay. No problem. Uh,
Yeah.
so the video could be like this if you want, or if you just want it to just be audio, I could just have that and it'd be exclusive to like Spotify.
All right. Well, unfortunately, that's all I can offer at the moment. Now that I'm realizing the webcam thing.
No problem.
Cool.
I'm gonna start with an intro that will have you introduce yourself. You ready?
Uh, uh, I'm Mason Graham. I go by MasonNeedLadder, and I do designing. I do editing, illustrating, motion graphics, motion design, all that good shit. Pretty much any kind of art that's made on a computer. I'm your guy.
Shout out to you.
Hey.
I want to jump in with the intro. Hello, Aura-Genz. This is your man over Mustang, and you're tuned into Aura-Genz, your friendly local hub anonymous Geek Squad podcast. For the latest underground news, gaming, and all things geek, today we got an electrifying interview that will light up your circuit. So buckle up because we're diving deep into the world of guest expertise. Get ready to be amazed, enlightened, and above all, entertained. Shout out to you. And remind me again of what you get into.
What I get into as far as my various mediums?
Yeah.
Well, I've been drawing since I was a baby, so pen and paper and paints and all that for pretty much my whole life. I did a lot of sculpting as well in my formative years, and I think it was about age 14 was the first time I cracked open Photoshop, and I have been using that religiously ever since. Um, as I went on, I got into Illustrator, InDesign, After Effects, Premiere, and all that other stuff, and different 3D programs too on occasion, such as Dimension, Blender, Autodesk Maya, and ZBrush. I went through a lot of years of just going through all that stuff and trying to really put my 10,000 hours in, so to speak, you know.
Mm.
So I think that would have been around age 17 where I started getting into stuff that was beyond just digital drawing, which I would normally use Photoshop or Illustrator for. So that was where I feel like I attained more of my arsenal, and then through practice with that, I'm 27 now, so that's oof man, just about curving 10 years of
Lucky
like
27.
yeah right.
Mm. Which is funny, we're around the same age.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I'm 27 as well. I'm a
man, you
winter
sound
baby though.
young. You sound young to me.
Oh, for real?
I mean, I guess it's a good thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, hey, you've got to last, somewhere. So
Yeah.
I appreciate, still sounding youthful, still sounding alive, sounding, closer to the gates, I would say.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Doing what you love for a job will give you your youth back, 100%.
Oh shit. And
Hmm.
okay, that's what's up. So you've been what inspired you to pursue, you know, animation?
Uh, if I'm being honest, I feel like everyone has a little piece of this when they get into their thing. But I was broke as fuck and
Mm.
really needed to make some money, man. And I was a butcher at the time, and so that was kind of not paying the bills. That was just, I mean, I had gone to art school and stuff, but I was racking up so much debt and everything that I just I couldn't hold it down anymore, man. I was on the I was en route to kind of just put myself in a spot I could never really dig myself out of. So I dropped out, and I still have like some of the stuff that they had taught me over there at the art school. So that kind of gave me a good jump. But I was also really heavily going to different like EDM concerts and hip hop concerts and all kinds of just music events and stuff. And that was something I kind of always went to. But this at this time in my life, I'm thinking I could probably make some money out of this. I'm like, I could draw,
Mm,
and I'm seeing cover arts with like cartoons on them, and I'm seeing visuals at these concerts with like illustrations and stuff. I'm like, I could probably do that. Like, maybe
mm,
give a shot at that. So I start just these shows I went to sort of became like network hubs for me, man. And I did whatever it took, any given venue, to either get backstage or get in the green room, hand out business cards to either local acts or higher up acts, or my personal favorite is somebody's manager. Because those
mm,
people are always trying to. Those are the people that are setting up the work. Usually, if you get in with the artist, like that's great, that's bagged for sure. But the manager's the one that's gonna want to talk work with you. He's a guy that like checks you out and shit. At least in my experience. So that
mm,
it kind of came at a good time where I was doing that so much to where now it was like I could just do that, bring business cards, and now I leave the club making money instead of just spending it all. And that kind of got me my start. I was doing logos for like 20-30 bucks, man, year one, not knowing what the fuck these things were even worth yet at the time. And it wasn't until I got communal with a lot of other designers that I started getting schooled by a lot of them. What to charge, what to expect from certain projects. Like when I got into animation, it was like, oh, I was still charging for illustration, even though it took me like 18 times as long. It was like, oh, this could never work. So a lot of where I'm at now came through just like trial and error and experience and stuff. But I'm happy with where it turned out so far, man. And I love music, and I love being a part of that too. Being able to work with passionate people and stuff like that. And music's always been such a huge part of me. So it was really cool to kind of just even at a small scale, just to crack open Spotify and see some shit I worked on. See like motions that I made for their canvases and stuff. It's a really cool experience, man, all the way.
Do you have some of your favorite commission work that you've done?
Ooh, man. Yeah, I would say, well, one of my very close friends and very talented rap slash pop infused artist, shout out SplashWo. I do all of his cover arts and stuff, and he is kind of exactly what I felt like I was looking for a lot of doing this, and which was to kind of get with an artist and kind of be their guy, because most of my clients up into him was kind of one-off pieces. I have a single I need done. I have a flyer I need done, and then I never hear from that dude again. But when
Mm,
SplashWo came around, it was like I need someone that's gonna be able to do every single that comes out, and it kind of gave me the keys to like craft a brand identity for him, and it was just such a cool experience to be able to. I mean, he obviously makes all the music and stuff and everything, but the branding outside of that, to be in control to that extent, was just it was a godlike experience, man.
mm.
Just for me, like I love that. So for me, it's all about like the world building.
Okay.
Hmm.
Shout out to that moment. And
Yeah.
to this day, you still working with him with his upcoming like work.
Oh yeah, he just dropped Dark Skies is out now. Cover art by yours truly.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
we talk every day, man. That's my boy for sure. And we met just like through work, and now we're like actually tight, which is, if you're a designer out there, you know that that's pretty rare.
Mhm. Shout out to that moment. And
Yeah.
okay, okay. And I'm curious for let me see, what's challenging being you're considered independent,
Indeed, yes, all freelance, my friend.
right? Okay. So what challenges do you face as a freelancer?
Challenges I face as a freelancer. Oh boy. Well, keeping a steady income, that would be
Mm,
that would be number one. Because it's hard to freelance, man. It's a different game. And I've done a lot of the corporate design stuff too. You punch in 8 hours, you leave, you get paid at the end of the week every single time, nice and comfortable. But freelance is like a battle with yourself, man. It's like you're scratching, clawing, trying to put your name out there. You're trying to keep content up, on your page, and trying to stay in all the various algorithms and stuff. And it just feels like such a race. So I feel like the
mm,
the the, the biggest challenge that I've had consistently is like making my presence known and kind of keeping that up, where I feel like I get so buried in work, that, which is a good thing, a good problem to have as a designer, is to be buried in work for sure. But it kind of prevents me from promoting myself, and it's
mm,
like I'll look at my calendar and I'm like, I've spent the last year doing nothing but client work, and now it's like, when what happens, like when I run out of this work, am I going to be able to, like, am I
mm,
going to have that pull anymore as far as social media and things like that? And I always got a pretty healthy amount of work just through good old fashioned, like, face to face handshake contact and stuff like that. So I was always really good at like swinging that, but that's kind of where the challenge came into it, was like I just had so little like reach, because I spent all this time working on covers and working on visuals and stuff, because everything I touch has got to be top notch. I never wanted anything with my name attached to it that was going to be subpar, or even worse, something the client wasn't like totally happy with.
I agree.
Mhm.
And I'm curious, when you was bringing up, you had some ambitions of like doing, you know, some work that you want to bring to life. I'm curious, what is that?
Oh man, well, for me, man, uh I do a lot of these animations and these art pieces and stuff that I kind of put up on my page, and kind of promote myself and stuff. And I've been doing it so long that I've kind of felt like it somewhere along the way wasn't really enough for me. Like, I like just making it, banging out a piece and throwing it up and stuff, and it's cool to kind of see the feedback on that and everything. But it kind of became like, I don't want this to come off as cynical as it might sound, but it kind of felt like
Mm,
pointless after a while. It's like, okay, now my piece is in the zeitgeist, and there it just lives on my profile. And I kind of have been seeking something a little more lasting, a little more integral to me. And so I've lately been getting into uh, graphic novels, and I think that would be a good route for me to go in, as just my own sort of path, something that I can do completely on my own and have my own
mm,
control over, just 100%. Obviously, that's something that comes very slowly, because I gotta keep up with a lot of work at the moment. But I'm all about building my fruitful business relationships and stuff, so that's nothing to complain about either.
mm,
It's just finding the time to balance it and everything. It's a race, man. It's a race every day, freelancing.
mm. And I'm curious, what does the expansion look like for you? Will that be like, expanding, recruiting, like, like-minded individuals, or like more animators? What does that look like for you?
Oh, expanding, like
Mm.
developing a team, you mean?
No, well, in the sense of like evolution for you, like, will that be a team for you, in the future, when it comes to like expanding, or like, what does it look like for you?
Man, I don't know, honestly, because I never really, I mean, I've worked in large teams of designers and stuff. I actually work in one right now for this
Mm,
other client I got. But I I kind of prefer the solo mission, man, which led me to the graphic novel stuff. It was like, I kind of want to make my own and have my own complete 100% control over it. And I don't want to talk about that like I'm promoting it right away or anything, but that's kind of just something I've been in the works on my own end for some time, that I feel really passionate about, and I can have total control over, and not have to not have to put 30 hours into an animation and then send it, and then it's like, okay, we'll change everything that you loved about it.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah, real shit.
I want to call the shots, is basically the gist of it.
So, so this company, would it be something like a company that specializes around you maintaining a team that would do like the similar work you're doing now?
Yeah, I would love to do something
Okay.
like that, man. And I already got designers in my Rolodex that I would hit up too. I know exactly who I'd call.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's
Yeah.
up.
Oh
And I'm
yeah.
curious, do you have any merchandise?
Do I have merchandise? Man, I probably
Mm,
should have at this point. But this is a great time to plug this story. I actually just moved, and I moved from San Diego to Seattle, so it was a
mm.
27-hour drive.
God damn.
And yeah, it was very long, and it was a lot of work packing it and everything. And everything was stolen, the entire truck. So
Oh
that
damn.
was, yeah, it was fucked up to say the least. But I had a very large sticker shop that used to be very active, and so all my merchandise was recently stolen from me. But some lucky dude out there has got all my stickers. So uh,
Damn.
if you want to take a look at my profile and you see some stickers you like, I'll be happy to reorder them for you or for any of our wonderful listeners here. But yeah, I don't have anything on hand anymore, unfortunately, since it's been tough, but that's just kind of how shit goes sometimes. It actually was a benefit to freelancing because I could kind of mold my hours around like what I needed to fix for that.
Mm.
Hmm.
And I'm curious, like when it comes into where people can like support you, where do you need that?
I don't understand the question.
As far as like where can the audience support you at? Would it be your paying you up for
Oh,
commission, tune into,
oh.
so forth?
I'm an Instagram dude. I used to be a Twitter dude, but if you're on Twitter, you know it's not the same place anymore. So
Okay.
I'm an Instagram dude now for sure. Uh, Instagram is MasonNeedLadder, and it is that handle on every single thing. If you feel like hitting me up on Twitter, you can find me on that same thing, but I will not be as active. You can find me
Mm.
on that handle on Facebook, and you can find me on trying to think of what else. I know I've made an account on literally every single platform. I have a Twitch channel with that name that I never used just because I didn't want it taken.
Mm. Just in case if you decide to use it
Just
later.
in case. Yep. I made a PlayStation account that had that name so no one could take it. I did it for all kinds of stuff, man.
Okay.
Ah,
So the
yeah.
best way to support you is your Instagram?
Indeed, indeed.
Okay.
Just for anyone listening, just take a peek. If you want some work, hit me up. See some stickers you like, I'd be happy to reorder if you're willing to wait a couple of extra days for it to get to you. Uh, just because of where I'm at right now in my life. But yeah,
Mm.
as far as supporting me, I would. It helps me a lot if you're an artist or perhaps any sort of business owner or anything like that. You need creative direction, you need design, you need animation, you need any of that kind of stuff. Hit me up on my page, or if you don't, shoot me a repost. Maybe somebody in your following roster's got some work for me. That's always
Mm.
greatly appreciated. So yeah, man, reposts and inquiries always.
Okay. So you do animation, logos. We was talking about this was off the podcast. I remember we was talking about
Hmm.
you were doing some work for people that do gaming like Twitch,
Yes, indeed. I
the
do a lot of
overlay.
emotes, and
Mm.
Twitch overlays. I do a lot of that. I do. You already had a very badass intro, but I do a lot of like podcast intros and stuff right now too. I am actually an ex-news designer, so I used to do a lot of
Oh
news
wow.
stuff too. So trying to think, a lot of like ads that we do for like our sponsors, a lot of sports stuff, like Rams at Raiders, at 8 or whatever. I don't think those teams would play each other, but that's just an example. I'm kind of saying I do a lot of the if you watch the news, you got like a little banner that shows up at the bottom, and it's like, oh, news, and it rotates and it gives you a little
Mm,
headline and stuff like that. So I have a lot of experience in like the corporate stuff like that. So it's been a blessing to
uh,
like kind of become more versatile through that corporate landscape. But it's just not where my heart is. You know what I mean?
as it is it like soulless to work like the to do commission for them?
What do you mean?
Like it lack creativity or it just not entertaining?
Oh, no, no, no. I just mean like how do I put this? Like just like the corporate landscape, Like I just didn't I didn't like weird office politics. I don't like people
Mm,
hanging out at my cubicle, I don't like making nice with a boss who's never gonna give me a raise, I don't
mm,
like I just don't like the structure of that, That's old news. That's out. And if you ask me, it's obsolete. Especially with this huge boost in remote work that we've had, which, if you ask me, we should have been doing the whole time because I've been working remote since 2017. So I'm a huge advocate for that. And
mm.
I just kind of think this whole office landscape is out of date, man. I had a 90-year-old CEO at the last office I worked at who would buck over every little design thing, and it was just like, God, I gotta like it's like every design I make, I gotta convince this like dying old man to love before I get anything done around here. And
Mm,
it's like, what am I doing, man? Like I could be working with artists that like really care about this shit, Like I could be working with SplashWo, Like I know he's really down for this shit, Like
mm,
I like why would I work for some CEO who could give a fuck about me, who could give a fuck about the company, I mean, I guess he cares to some degree about the company, but all he cares about is the revenue, He doesn't
mm.
he doesn't care about the art, All he ever did was bark at me, And I don't mean to like disparage anyone or anything like that. I just find it really hard to work with people who don't have their heart in it. So
I
that's
can
just me.
understand that. And
Yeah.
this is what a podcast for is for y'all to be honest, be yourself. So if that's your experience is understandable.
I hear
Um,
you.
okay. So, but you don't mind doing like commission, but you just don't want to work in their service.
No, I love doing commissions. Don't get me
Okay.
wrong. Commissions are my bread and butter, man. Like
No, I'm
that's what
talking
I'm.
about for the corporate.
Well, that technically wasn't on commission. I was just on their payroll,
That's
because
why I said,
ah, I see. Yeah, I hated that, dude. Hated
okay,
it.
okay.
I mean, I
But
learned some
you,
pretty good like skills, but that
mm,
nothing I couldn't have learned on YouTube.
so, so is there any benefits, working with them? Is it like, getting your hands on like new equipment or go ahead.
No, I don't mean to laugh, but like, no, man, no. Everything you could learn at a corporate design setting, you can learn on YouTube. Like,
Mm,
it is not rocket science. And if you're a designer trying to get into a corporate job, they are gonna make you feel like this is some serious shit. And if anything, like you couldn't be more stuck. Like, go freelance, go chase what you're doing, man. Go
mm,
track down artists that are really down for their shit. I just all those corporate people are going to care about at the end of the day is the profits at the end of the quarter, and I mean I get that like all businesses and all artists are going to care about that to some extent, but if we're talking about the art, it should be about the art for the time being at the very least. I
so,
know that might be kind of complicated, but hey,
no, I understand. So I have a quick question.
yeah.
Uh, for the corporate that would make the final decision, have they ever made a decision that backfired, and who took responsibility for it?
Oh, good question. Let me think about this for a second here. Have I ever had an idea? You mean like an idea passed down like from upstairs that backfired, or like an idea on my end that backfired, like where I fucked up?
I don't mind hearing both, but we can start with the corporation.
Oof. Well, I, maybe just because it's like the kind of person I am, but when I think of like, oh, what was my big fuck up? I'm like, oh, where do I start? And then, but I can tell you one thing. When I was doing a sponsor ad from the old news station I was on, they they wanted to do this like intro, and I didn't have like a ton of 3D experience at the time, but I was really trying to impress my new boss and stuff back when I was still really optimistic about the corporate setting and everything, and I wanted to do it all in Blender. It was like, and I pushed him to let me do it in Blender, and it came out like shit, man. It just came out so bad. The lighting was all bad. The textures looked like wrong. I just didn't have enough experience for that, but I was so ambitious. So I think what I took from that was like, be confident in like, what you've earned it in, you know? Um, I felt like it is healthy and good to challenge yourself as an artist and want to get into different areas and different mediums, and I don't think that was misguided. However, I think to put like the whole commercial basically on my back like that on a whole new program was just way too ambitious in retrospect.
And where did it? When do you notice that it was like, all right, damn, I fucked up?
When you miss the deadline. Deadlines are everything. Another one for all the designers out there. You miss a deadline, you ain't worth shit. That's the number one thing that should matter on every single project, dude. You cannot meet a deadline, find a new gig. Like, I cannot stress that enough, dude. Don't make something shitty, but if you don't have enough time, tell the client that's not enough time, you know? That's all you got to do. You can't. I mean, people say all the time like you can't rush art, you know, and that cliche sadly kind of rings true, dude. Like, I hate to tell people that and everything. I'm the last guy that wants to tell his client that you can't have what you want. You know, I want all my clients to be happy, but you have to also be realistic, and that's part of the job too, you know, is like being able to set that up and communicate effectively.
And what is your preferred, target of traffic that you like to do commission?
Oh, well,
Necessary. Okay.
you may have already sniffed this out, but I love working with musicians, man. I love working with producers. I love working with rappers, and that's kind of where my heart's always been. Music's been a big part of my upbringing. I'm from the Bay Area, so I would love to do something for like E40 or something like that one day, you know, before I die. I have just always I've just always loved that shit, man. I love concert visuals and stuff like that. And it's like you go to Rolling Loud or you go to something like that, and it's like, you know, all the huge signs up and all the big flashy visuals and everything, and just like I so desperately wanted to have my art up on there all huge and everything, you know, and so that kind of drove me to like you know, kind of really climb the ladder in that way and try to reach out to labels and get with different artists and stuff like that. And I was fortunate enough to get with a fewer higher profile clients, but you know, it's tough because some of those people aren't really about their shit either.
It it would it would definitely be making it seem like everything is smooth till you get to like a bit more about them, and
Mm-hmm.
you either find out just like, oh, you're just immortal, just like
Yeah,
I.
and man, there was this one specific one that really drove me fucking insane. Where like, because you never turn it into the artist, you turn it into the manager, right? But
Mm.
this dude had managers that kept quitting on him. He had like three different managers by the time it was done, and I didn't know who the hell to turn anything into.
Wait, yeah, three different managers.
By the time it was done, yeah, because
Oh.
because because they kept quitting, like they kept like dropping him as a client, or I mean, I guess they could have been getting fired too, but this is clearly
Mm.
somebody who can't keep doesn't keep a tight ship, you know, and their career will suffer that, they'll deal with that. But to me, that's like a red flag. That's like, okay, like, why can't you work with people, man? Like, aren't you passionate about this? Like, don't you have like
Mm.
a team that you trust? You know what I mean? So yeah,
Especially if
man.
they, pulling their weight.
Oh, and manager's doing a ton of work, man. That's nothing to sneeze at. It's a hard
Mm.
job, dude.
Yeah, to promote you, constantly be connected with other people and all that shit.
Yeah.
Let alone to take up, any responsibility of bullshit that you get into.
Exactly. Yeah, they gotta answer for all of your shit, man. If you're the face of the business, so to speak.
Yeah, I would hate more than anything to get yelled at for something that I didn't do, but for my client that I gotta take responsibility for.
Yeah, and that's your job, man. Just to just take shit all day for this guy. Yeah.
Oh,
Ugh.
go ahead.
Oh no, dude, just more riffing on that, man. Like, if you're a manager out there, I got a lot of respect for what you do, man. It seems like a
Mm.
tough job, and it seems like being a glorified babysitter at times. So I really respect it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And
Hmm.
I'm curious as someone that is a freelancer, have you faced any troubles or, problems with clients?
Problems with clients. Would you care to specify?
Uh,
Like a fight? Like, have I ever fought clients, or
Well,
like
did it
like what do you mean?
happen?
Nah, I never fought a
And
client. I've been
no,
threatened
I'm
by
just saying
clients.
like, you ever like came across a problem or issues with a client?
Oh, hmm. I don't mean to toot my own horn here on this. I don't usually have that problem because I meet my
Mm.
deadlines. Maybe early on when I wasn't as experienced, I would kind of like I would send logos as PNGs and then just be like, "Here's your logo." Like, that was stupid in retrospect, and that probably caused that client problems down the line. Now, me being the designer I am, I'm like, "Oh my God, how do I live with myself that I actually did that to a client?" Like, holy fuck. And so now I'm like, I send like, okay, here's your vector, here's your vertical version, here's your horizontal version, here's your white, black, red versions, and here's your folder that it all goes in. Upload to Dropbox, send the link, and all nice and professional, all corners covered. I just wasn't organized like that early on, and I feel bad for the people who worked with me in my first couple of years as I really got this shit going. That really bared with me through all that and stuff. It made me a better designer in turn. So yeah, I'm grateful for those experiences, even if I do kind of feel embarrassed a little bit.
Okay. And
Mhm.
I'm guessing you never had any issues on the client end.
No, not usually, man. I mean, sometimes like stuff like runs late and stuff, but you could always work that shit out. You call them up a couple
Mm.
days ahead, like, hey, man, I think this shit might bleed into Thursday. Is that cool? Is there anything we can do on that? Like,
Oh
here's a
no, I'm talking about
progress
from
shot.
the client perspective. Have they ever give you like issue from
Oh,
your experience?
yeah, dude. Oh my God. Okay, this one time, man, this one girl, she wanted she wanted like a character logo, right? And so I do it. And I always start with concept sketches, right? So I send a rough draft, right? And she's like, not really feeling that one. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll send another one. I'm not really feeling that one either. Okay, no problem. I must have sent like six more after, right? No problem,
Mm.
no problem. There's still no problem here. Maybe you need 20. I don't care. We're just feeling it out, dude. I want you to be happy with it. I'm
Mm.
not concerned like that. So I keep doing them. Finally, we land on one, and she's like, "We're going with this one." I'm like, "Cool, let's do it." I do it, and I send her the full final piece, and she goes, "I'm not really feeling this one. Let's try a new one." I'm like, "No, no, you said you confirmed this one. No, now you gotta
Don't.
like now." I'm like, now you got to pay more. Like, I'm sorry, that's not a revision anymore. Like, that's a
Mm.
whole new. You're asking me to start from scratch. It's like I tried to do the diligent thing and let you confirm it beforehand and stuff. This girl blows up, dude. She does not take it well at all. She's losing her shit on me. She's talking about like this and that and whatever. She's threatening me and shit. And I just tell her like, okay, I'm keeping your deposit, and then I block her. And I don't ever block people, but she was really, really blowing me up. So
Mm.
she kind of drove me to that. But she starts hitting me up on other accounts after that, and she's like, I'm gonna get my lawyers, and I'm gonna get this and that. I'm like, dude, get him. Go get lawyers, man. Go get a lawyer and have him look at this dispute and tell me if he'll support you. Like, there's no way, man. You didn't even pay the full price. You only put the deposit down. If anything, I'm the one that lost a bunch of time for you, man. So, yeah,
And
sometimes
you sent over the final piece, right?
yeah, I still sent her the file. She still got the file. I wonder if she's still using it.
So it's like, technically, yeah, it's a loss on your part, and you
hmm
still got a what do you want to call it? A project, I guess.
Yeah,
Um,
and like I don't mind if it took that long to get like to the idea, but you can't just have me make a full piece and then be like start over. Like it doesn't work like that. If you want to
especially if
pay
not pay more.
yeah, exactly. Which that's all it would take, you know. If you want two projects, you pay two rates, easy, you
Mm.
know. But she just wasn't. I don't know, dude. Sometimes you just get like immature people like that, you know. Just she just didn't see it like that, and that's kind of like it's kind of industry standard, honestly, dude. Like, yeah, you pay the deposit, and if shit goes south, that deposit is to protect the designer. It's not like for you. Like, it's not to protect yeah, like you know what I mean? Like it's not let me hold 300 so you can maybe get it back one day. No, that's that you're not getting the deposit back one way or another, man, you know?
That's funny.
Yeah,
That's
so
funny. I can see, some people thinking like, oh, I thought the deposit for me was the tip my toes in it.
yeah, like no, man, that is not how it goes. The deposit is for the designer, and if you don't like it, you can take it up with all those people that ruined it for you, you know? Like
Mm.
all those mistrusting people and immature people like that. You could thank them for the system that they built.
So my next question, I have a lot of artists on here, and they talk about how they have experience with scammers. Same thing with, podcasters. So I'm curious, when it comes to your experience, what is your experience with scammers?
My experience with scammers. In what way? Like design scammers?
As far as like, do you have to worry about like, fake pages hitting you up with like some sketchy ass work?
Oh, oh, I see. I'm getting hit up for like, not as much lately because they kind of changed the model for it, but I used to get fucking mad like verification scam bots, you know? They're like, oh,
Mm,
hit up this cash app, we'll verify you, you know, like, oh, you want to get verified? Like, man, I don't even give a fuck about being verified, you know, and because I'm not fucking McDonald's. And B, why would I ever like pay for it? That's not to me. That's not getting verified. You know what I mean? Like you don't
mm.
pay to get verified, but now you do, I guess.
And this was before, Instagram start having ads to pay for
Yeah,
that shit.
yeah,
Okay.
this is before that. Same with Twitter too. You could pay for it on Twitter now for some
Mm.
reason, which I don't even know why you would want it on that platform anymore.
I don't know
Because
why you want to pay for it anyway.
well, now
Uh,
it's like a badge of shame now.
mm.
This guy
Well, now
paid for it.
now you can't even trust anybody that got that shit. Like for example, I can't
Yeah.
even trust anybody with a high number of following base. I'm like, yo,
Oh. Mm.
like how many of them people is like bots or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Uh,
feel the exact same way, man. 100%. It drives me crazy because I used to it used to really matter like if you had like verified followers and stuff like that used to that like they used to call it follower stock, you know. It's like maybe you didn't have a lot of followers but you had a grip of verified followers, right? So like these were people that had bigger followings, so like you might not have had a huge following yourself but everything you put up had that level of reach because you had 300 people with massive followings that hit you, you know what I mean? So
mm.
yeah, those were the days, man. Social media used to be better. It was better. It was better when it was just Instagram, if you ask me. But hey,
Yeah. Well, technically, maybe that was the downfall too.
oh,
Instagram introduced a lot of the selfie type of motherfuckers. You know,
Yeah,
uh,
you're right. You're driving at a good point. Yeah. Yeah.
um,
I
but
was OG on Instagram like before Facebook even picked it up, so maybe the Facebook acquisition might have
so
something to do with a lot of this.
that that was a very good point too.
Yeah.
It could be depending of ownership as well.
Mhm.
Uh, but then again, when you look at Twitter, I think we would have been fucking.
Twitter wasn't the craziest thing about that though is like Twitter wasn't even like the books are public. You can look at the stocks, man. The company was not making that much money when it was sold to what's his name,
Elon.
refused. I I just refuse to
Uh,
give him the clout, but hey.
L.E. Shyamalan. Yeah, okay.
It
uh,
was like this dude comes out and just buys a company that has notoriously been losing money since Vine.
mm,
Crazy.
which you know, which does that get confusing because it still feel like the whole world was dependent on it. The whole world was still tuning in on using it. So it's crazy that a company like that where you got a grip on a nice you know segment of the population. I would say. When it came to like putting your thoughts on the internet, I don't think there was any other platform people think of other than Twitter. So just to hear
No,
that it wasn't making profit, that surprised me.
it surprises me too. I feel like I could make money, right? Like, how do you not just like charge more for ads or whatever? I don't know.
Listen,
I guess what do I know about it?
how the fuck you got people using your shit? And we're not talking about like a few hundred, thousands, millions.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure it's
global.
getting popular, yeah, global. And you're not making a profit. Where is the money going? Because like the base, I will say this in my personal experience. Twitter is kind of basic shit. Especially like, 2010, because it was just like you really just, tweet. It wasn't
It's
really
all
made
text
for,
based.
yeah, it wasn't really made for anything else. So it's just like, where was the money going? Like, I don't understand. But that is, surprising to hear that. Next question that I do have for you though,
Hmm.
because you was bringing up some good points, uh, the commission. Can you walk us through your, process of
Oh,
starting a new commission project from the concept to completion?
100%. Let's do it. So check it out. Let's say we'll use my boy as an example again. Let's say SplashWo hits me up and he's like, "Hey, it's the beginning of the month, time for a new single, right? Time to start on one or whatever." And he will have prepared. This isn't always the case, but a lot of the time the client will bring. Um, for the sake of example, I'm going to say cover art because this is my most common commission. So I need a cover art, right? I need
Mm-hmm.
it done in 1 week, and I need it to be four four dudes chilling on the porch, and I want guns and bitches and money and all kinds of shit everywhere. That's a pretty common concept. I get dudes on the porch with bitches. I get that a lot. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I thought you was about to say four dudes and one chick, and I was like, wow, where is this going?
No, but that's always one that I get though. But yeah,
Mm,
anyway. Um so usually they'll drop me the concept and then I go, okay, cool. So we have a week to knock this out. So first day is get the sketch ready.
mm,
And whoa, wait. Oh man, I'm getting ahead of myself. Get the deposit. Young designers out there, get the deposit before the sketch, man. If you are friends with this person and you trust them deeply, then maybe drop the sketch first. But most of the time, I would say get the deposit first, man, because you don't know who this person is. You don't know how reliable this is or whatever. Please protect yourself. This is
are
something
you
I wish.
saying
Hmm.
are you saying like they could run off of the sketch? That's something that you worry about, or is it something else?
I know that sounds crazy, but it does happen. And I had someone get a sketch from me before the deposit, and guess who's running Buck Wild with my sketch just as the official cover? Like,
Oh wow. Okay.
which is stupid because it's like it's clear you stole this from somebody, like, you know. Anyway, get the deposit. Yes, they will. They will use your sketch if you let them. You know, so get the deposit. Send the sketch. Do not start drawing until that sketch is confirmed by the client, because they might change it on you, and they might change it completely, like start over, you know, which would be fine. You know, sometimes it doesn't hit the first time, man.
Mm,
Who could like read somebody's vision so 100% to knock out the sketch perfect on the first try? It's pretty rare, you know. So you're probably going to get revisions, so you're going to want to wait till the next day if you don't hear from them, you know. And
mm,
so let's say I am getting confirmed for the sketch, then it's on as fuck. Every spare hour I got is going into this thing wherever I can manage it, and just by all means meet the fucking deadline. I generally don't like to send progress pics along the way. If the client asks for it along the way, I send it, of course, you know, just because, like, I get it. They're probably bugging, like, you know, is this dude working on it, you know, or is he blowing me
mm,
off? Like, I get it, man. I'll drop you a progress picture, like, no problem, you know. But I prefer not to send them because I feel like they kind of give this false representation of where it's at. And then almost every time I send a progress picture, they're like, oh, well, can you color that in a little more? I'm like, yeah, dude, like, I was getting there, but, you know, it's not done.
mm. Yeah, I'm
So,
curious. Uh, have you ever been amazed by like somebody like vision
what do you
that
mean?
they had for a commission work? Like, did they ever give you like a fire ass vision like damn, like that idea was fire shit like that inspired me like the work on your shit.
You know what? Yeah, I can actually give you a really recent example, man. So, shout out my boy Steve. He's a long-standing client with me. He brought to me a concept for a podcast, and his idea was to the podcast is Let's Save Together. If anyone would like to check it out, I highly encourage it. And your boy does all the graphics for it. But so he came to
Shout
me
out
with this idea to develop a podcast that marketed almost exclusively to young people, such as me and you, and kind of just
mm,
stresses the importance of like saving and investing and setting up like a retirement account, setting up a Roth IRA and stuff like that, and kind of just taking care of your future in that way, you know, and just being forthright about saving, because it isn't really something that's like stressed or talked about as much in our culture really anymore, and less people are being able to retire and stuff. And he was really passionate about just wanting to get young people excited about investing and excited about
mm,
setting up their 401ks and stuff, and actually, you know, giving them just better quality of life and stuff, man. And I just something about that really spoke to me, man, because I was like, man, I wish somebody could put me on some of that stuff, like the investing stuff and everything, you know, because I don't know shit about any of that, you know. And like when he brought this up, I didn't even know what a Roth IRA was, man. I was like,
mm,
what is that, you know? And I just think there's probably a lot of people like me out there, man, that could benefit from that. So that really drove me to like really get this whole thing going with him. And like, you know, we're putting down like definitions of different things to really give people like, because his buddy he runs it with has got a I wish I could say which kind, but he's got a finance degree, and so he's kind of schooling on a lot of like the textbook definitions of stuff and everything. And I just love the whole concept of it, man. And I'm learning a lot just from editing it, you know. And I can only imagine someone that actually gets you know, subscribes and studies it and everything. And they actually run a Discord coinciding where if you have questions on what they talked about, you can literally just directly contact them in the Discord, and
mm,
they will screenshot their pages and their dividends, and they will send you what they made off of their investments and stuff. And you know, no one's forcing you to invest anywhere, but they're just giving the advice and just giving where they're at and what they've seen benefits from. And I just think that's really cool and really honest, and really the opposite of a lot of these finance gurus you see on social media that kind of just paywall everything, you know? And this shit's just free. It's just in the podcast, you know?
I agree, and I'm curious, have you try out any of this investment? Like, did you invest in something?
Ooh, no, I
Uh,
haven't really. I'm too scared. I'm still researching, man. I haven't really taken the leap too much yet. I've
mm,
definitely it's definitely motivated me to kind of start like just putting more money in savings so that I can eventually put it into stock or something like that that can grow. I just kind
mm,
of haven't really decided where I want to put it because a big emphasis they put on it is that you want to invest in companies and stuff that you really believe in. You really, according to your beliefs, can really make waves. You know, man, I'm trying to think. Like one of the companies he was really into was Shake Shack, right? He's like, I really see this taking off. Like they only have like couple hundred locations. They're really popping and this and that. And he's I really believe in this company. You know,
mm,
I think this could be like McDonald's run one day. Oh, and it's not. They're not franchised at all. Like they're all owned under the same board. So
mm,
like so when you buy stock, you kind of see profit from all their locations like that. So it's like a lot of it is kind of like actually researching the investment a lot. So I haven't really been
okay.
doing it too long, so I'm kind of still waiting to really take that jump where I dump, $4 grand into some stock and kind of see what I can do with it. But like I said, man, it's a lot of research too. But I love that they stress that too, because if
Mm,
if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. I want to know that,
mm. Shout out to
Yeah,
that. It
shout
sound
out to
like
that.
they basically saying like you probably want to invest in things that not just believe in, but you probably use or passionate about yourself.
Yes,
Uh,
exactly.
so also sound like invest in things that you use like every day, like some toilet paper. Who's not wiping
Toilet
their
paper.
ass out here?
It's gotta be rock solid, man.
That
Tires, you
shit.
could invest in tires.
Hmm.
A big one they were talking about was Nvidia, because you got all these tech companies want to, they all got hard-ons for this AI shit, and Nvidia kind of makes the hardware to develop that kind of shit. So you have all these tech companies, Amazon and Apple and all these things, literally just dumping money into Nvidia right now. So it's like,
Standard
just kind of
to
being aware like that. Hmm.
it's kind of funny they wanted to spend all this money uh on this uh, entity that's not even a being uh
Hmm.
to do this work instead of like investing into the people that go to college, got a degree, got all these years of experience, and be like, yeah, you don't seem profitable.
Yeah, man.
So
Yeah,
I'm
I
curious.
know.
So I'm
Huh.
curious, like, do you feel threatened by this? A lot of companies just
Oh
investing in these AIs and shit.
my God, I'm so excited that you just asked me that. Oh my God, I could talk about this forever. Um, I think AI is like the perfect thing for someone who wants to be really successful and has no talent and no drive and no motivation and nothing. If you are just a lazy piece of shit, then AI is just the thing for you, buddy. You want someone to just do a shitty job for you when you could just do a shitty job for free? Wow, great. No, I'm not threatened by AI at all, buddy. Like
Hmm.
I kind of think it's like bullshit. Like I kind of think it's cute, like straight up, dude. Like I'm not worried about it, And I
Okay.
see all the time I see on Instagram it's like RIP graphic designers, and it's like some fucking like bullshit they made in Mid Journey or whatever. I'm like, what is that, man? Like I would never use that as a logo. Like that looks
Or
like crap, man.
maybe you haven't experienced this now, but I'm pretty sure other artists have like, what was that? Is that my work?
Yo, oh my God, there was a designer I knew a long, or not a long time ago, but like I met him a long time ago. posted up this thing, like this client was hitting him up and tried to order a few pieces from him because he said he was going to train an AI on his work, man.
Oh, and even you have companies
Bro.
too that's investing into taking these data. So they low key like, taking people like work behind the
Yeah.
scenes, like companies such as I think Google. There's a couple other, big franchise that's investing in this, but they would basically just take your data. They even downloading like videos off of YouTube, just to take like other content creators like content or, so it just amazed me that it's just like you don't want to pay, first of all, you don't want to pay us at all, but we have to convince you
Hmm.
to pay us our worth just for y'all to be like, no, we don't want to do that. We're going to build a machine that's going to take off, copying, your shit.
Just don't
Um,
understand, like, I just don't understand that mindset of like this war between creative and non-creative people where it's like it almost feels like you're developing AI with like malicious intent to like put people out of a job. You know what I mean? That seems to be
mm,
like the purpose everyone drives at, and I just don't get that, man. Like, dude, I can draw and you can fix a toilet or whatever, like you can find a new skill, you can go do something. Why can't you just believe in yourself, man? Like, why can't you just start drawing and see if you can get good, like why do you need a machine that does it for you and it doesn't even do a good job, like it looks stupid, it looks and like you said with the being trained on other people's work, it is still up in the air, like the legal issues with that, man, because Getty Images is still having the court proceedings with OpenAI right now because they were
that's,
training them on Getty Images stuff, and Getty
it's
Images,
funny.
you got to. Hmm.
Oh, go ahead. I ain't mean to cut you.
Oh, I mean, that was pretty much the end of it. Like, we'll see with this Getty Images case too. Like, more specifically, like where the legal precedent for that stands, because it could be copyright infringement, man.
Mm. No, I agree with you. And you actually brought up something that sparked earlier conversation that I saw
Hmm.
recently. Blender, there was
Hmm.
going on this high rise of invested in like AI, and they was basically saying oh, so there was a couple things. One, people work that they do on Blender, they would no longer own the rights to it, and then two, they were also using AI to study the people that was using Blender. Uh,
Really? I was not
yeah,
hip to this.
so they originally backfired to them, and this was like a month ago. Uh, so I'm not sure how they're doing now, but this backfire, they make them, go back on their plans that they had going down for the future. But this, from a lot of people, this broke their trust with them.
I did not know that. That breaks my trust with them too. I'm not totally comfortable with even the Adobe AI, honestly.
Mm.
At least Adobe's AI is trained off of its own Adobe stock, so at least there's no copyright infringement. You
As far
know,
as they tell us.
as far as they tell us, yeah, there's no way to know, is there?
Hmm. Well, it's too late, or somebody do the work.
I
Uh,
love. This is kind of off topic, but I'm loving the Twitter AI right now, and like, there's no safeguards on it at all. People are making fun of Mario like drinking and smoking,
oh
making like
man,
pregnant Kamala Harris and stuff.
yo, so that's where all that shit is coming from.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, and damn. So and it's like it's a whole new world on that fucking app.
Yeah, I don't know. It just became like Facebook now. Just became another Facebook, you know.
Even Facebook, like certain things, like for example, porn wasn't that accessible ever, at least for like Facebook,
Uh-huh.
like that.
I cannot believe how much porn is on Twitter now, dude. It drives
Yeah.
me insane. Like, maybe I think like I've had Twitter since 2011, and I think I saw porn, like actual porn on Twitter, maybe a handful of times organically. And Now it's like you go under any post on the For You page, which there shouldn't even be a For You page, and there's 900 like OnlyFans reply girls that are just like promoting their pages and shit all in there.
Mm.
It's like
Yeah,
the apocalypse.
yeah. Like it definitely, especially like in public, it definitely got me second guessing. Do I want to scroll
Yes,
in public?
yes, and honestly, like old Twitter made me feel like that in some ways, but it was like in a fun way, like oh,
Hmm.
you might see a 9/11 meme or something like, but now it's like it's
I
just,
might just be seen as some pervert.
yeah, you're just gonna look like some freak, man. Oh, oh,
Oh man,
yeah,
it's definitely a new world out here. So Instagram became your new home of promotion.
absolutely. I would say so for sure, man. Instagram. I mean, I'm not a huge advocate for Instagram. I think Facebook's a really shady company too, which we could talk about that all day, really. But
Mhm.
Meta, excuse me, Meta is a shady company. Yeah. But yeah.
Especially when they came out with that little what Google shit glasses. Uh,
Oh,
I
fucking
forgot.
what was that?
Yeah,
The headset, the
yeah,
metaverse, the
yeah.
metaverse.
It quickly died.
What a
I was seeing
piece of
people trying to
shit.
hype it. First of all, the prices for that shit. But then I saw people trying to hype that shit up. And then now I don't hear anything about it.
Oh man, that was funny. Did you ever see the demonstration video Mark Zuckerberg did?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh
I
God.
That shit was so boring. Yo, he was the exact meme of how, when we was like growing up seeing like, like Futurama, for example, and then how they would make fun of like old people using futuristic technology. He played that exact fucking character, but in a young body, which is very confusing.
Yeah, he's talking. I'm like, has this dude played a video game before? Like, this looks like the models are not textured. They're World of Warcraft had better visuals and more content than this in 2006.
PlayStation 2 got better dreams than this.
Yeah.
Like,
I had PlayStation Home on launch day of the PS3, and that had more metaverse-esque like stuff in it than the actual metaverse.
shit. Like, and you're rich. Like,
Yeah.
here's the thing that pissed me off about rich people. It's like y'all want to blow and make everything a big deal when it comes to like, small shit like materialistic shit. Like, oh, like look,
Hmm.
instead of just having a normal house, I got my house made out of 24K gold. Like,
Hmm.
okay, cool, but like, all right, did you did it in a safety way? Like, are you strong enough to open up your doors? Like, you do all this unnecessary shit for like clout, but when it comes to a
Yeah.
product, y'all decide y'all want to be cheap. I don't
Yeah.
understand y'all
And you
niggas.
cut a bunch of corners, man.
Like even and that's something that people have to that brings it back to our earlier conversation where you talk about encouraging people to freelance from your
Hmm.
perspective. I
Yeah.
think this also adds to your point as well. It's
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
hard to dream big, and it doesn't matter, in my opinion. When it comes to a corporation, it doesn't matter if you're in a film, acting, animator, etc.
Hmm.
You have to acknowledge that these motherfuckers going to do anything around money. And
Yes.
unfortunately, they're going to do anything to save money.
Mhm.
Um, so like if you got dreams that are like, hey, like, oh, I got a fire idea, let's invest. Oh, no, no, shut that shit down.
Yeah.
This is not you know, that's not the type of people that you got to have that mindset with. Especially let alone if you get the opportunity to do that. Because a lot of times we working for them and we create what they want.
Yeah, 100%, man. And they will cut those corners, and if it comes to money, they will cut it, and they will cut you to save a couple of bucks.
Mhm. Especially when like, for example, like a lot of them doesn't necessarily use the money in the correct way. So, they cutting corners and and when they cut corners and you could be affected by this, which a lot of people lost their job, all because, they spending the money. Like, I gotta pay for your actions? Like, that's so,
Yeah. Think about all the all the game developers that get fired after a game
Yo,
comes out, so that because this is such a common thing with gaming where it's like I don't want to put any company on the spot with it because I kind of can't think of one immediately, but I think Activision used to do this a lot. But
yeah.
whenever the Call of Duty would come out, they would fire a fuck ton of their developers so that they could pocket more of the income. You know what I mean?
Yo, like, damn.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's the reality that we live in.
that's crazy.
So,
Despite the fact that they have to make another Call of Duty next year, like
so
what the hell? Are you gonna restab?
you could, yeah, restaff, rehire, and the people just gonna fall right back in line
Because they
because they're
need
going.
to.
At the same time, they not. Maybe I don't know, but maybe there is some type of battle with that type of field because it's like it's kind of similar to like acting. You
Hmm.
know, a lot of
It
these
is.
actors, dream to go to Hollywood when instead, like, yo, back when we was growing up, a lot of people was able to make a come up and appear into like indie films because we didn't necessarily give a fuck who
Yeah.
you were. We was giving a fuck about the character you was playing. Did you make me feel something? Did I like you, as a character? But now everybody feel like they gotta be in a certain position to call themselves an actor, which is Hollywood.
Mm, right.
Which right now, like with them cutting money and they only willing to use the acts that they deem that bring them, a certain amount of audience. Like for
Hmm.
example, that Borderland movie.
Oh, it's a dumpster fire. Yeah.
Bro, bro, and I never
Mm,
once like had a problem with like seeing like older people, you know, in a movie.
mm.
But just seeing, I'm just like, yo, why is everybody like old as shit? Like in the game, like everybody was like, young,
Yeah.
and you know what I'm saying?
The casting
Uh,
was so weird, man. And
yo,
I'm a big Kevin Hart fan, admittedly,
uh,
but he was not right for that role, man. That
bro,
was so weird.
I'm not sure how you felt, but as soon as I saw that motherfucker appear on screen, I was like, this is gonna be a bad movie. This is gonna be a bad movie.
And I also should add that I'm like a Borderlands freak. Like I love the games so much, and
Mhm.
I just would not have picked him for the role. I just don't think he's
Yeah,
casted.
first Kevin Hart was never known to be that guy. You know
No,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
no,
If
not at all.
anything, I know all the times you hired a rant for a scene, this might have been, it for The Rock. That might have
I
been a
was
good
just
scene.
thinking that, dude. Yeah, like that actually
The
weirdly
one
would have
time you
been
could have
more
just hired
fitting.
that. Yeah. Uh, or it could have been, so many other people that could have played this character. But
Oh
that's not
God.
even the only problem as well. Another thing I have a problem with them, creativity is gone.
Oh, tell me about it.
I'm not sure what happened. Like even with the dialogues between like the characters and shit is very, very boring. Uh, so the end results of the Borderline mode, it was just all around. Like even the CGI they was using. Another bone I have to pick is the soundtrack. They reused the same fucking music. It's like, damn, y'all the same motherfuckers that be like, oh, if you want to use this song in your soundtrack, this is like 20 billion. I'm like, damn, like that's a lot of money just to use your song for 30 seconds.
Yeah,
Damn.
just hire a composer.
But
Come on.
now I know why, because these Hollywood motherfuckers don't use anybody else's music.
Yeah. Yeah, or the studio will be like if it's Warner Brothers, they'll be like, you can only use stuff from like our catalog, like our label, because they'll usually have like a music sub office or
Mm.
something depends on the
Now,
company.
now that's smart. That's smart. Now, as long as they go about using those artists' music in their catalog and they actually expand upon that, that's actually pretty smart.
Yeah,
But for the ones that don't do that, and you go out of your way to pay for the most expensive song, because it's like on damn near in like every other movie, uh, and it's becoming very predictable. Uh,
yeah.
It's been a while since I heard like a soundtrack that I'm like, damn, I didn't even hear this song before. Who's it?
I watched two trailers in a row on YouTube the other day, and both trailers in a row had "No Church in the Wild" for the song, and I was like, "Oh my God, how many times am I gonna hear "No Church in the Wild" on a
Oh,
fucking trailer, man? I'm sick of this."
oh man, and it's just getting dumber down because YouTube. I think YouTube might become that new Hollywood set in the near future.
They used to be like the wave maker too, man.
Because we already going through the YouTube celebrities and shit.
Yeah, yeah, the Fine Brothers and all those fucking people. I guess
hmm
that's not even we're aged out of the Fine Brothers. What am I saying, dude? Now it's all about fucking Mr. Beast, I guess.
Mr. Beast,
Yeah.
AMP. Who else we got?
B, if you want to talk Twitch, I guess Kai Cenat is like popping right
Mhm.
now. I suppose I'm not really into Twitch to be honest, but I know that dude's popping like a motherfucker.
Yeah, it's a lot. Um, but it was it's definitely going through a new phase. Hopefully something, I would like to experience something like, cyber, what is it? Cyber, 2077?
Oh, yes,
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk, right? Yeah, yeah, the
Yeah,
CD Project Red game.
yeah.
I
I would
haven't
like
checked that
to,
out yet.
so the game is actually pretty good now without it been updated. They finally fixed all the bugs and fixes. I got the DLC, but I haven't played yet.
Mhm.
But I was actually entertained with the game itself. I wish there was more to explore. That's my only nitpick. But I think for the most part, especially if you catch it on sale,
Mhm.
uh, wait, do you have it already?
No, no, I haven't checked it out yet because there were so many problems on launch. I just wait. I don't get anything on launch anymore because of all that, man. It's like it feels like it happens every time. You know.
Especially, I'm not sure. Wait, you game on a PC?
I used to be a PlayStation guy until I had all this stuff stolen. But PlayStation
Damn.
since birth, bro. One point or another, I owned every PlayStation product, man. I even had a Vita when it was still being supported.
hmm Damn. Well,
Yeah.
I was going. Well, so you game on your PC then, or
Well,
is it?
as of right now, I do a little. I actually use a Mac, but there's a lot of. It's not like it used to be. Now there's a
Yeah,
lot of programs where you can emulate PC on it now, and it runs perfectly fine. I mean,
yeah,
I still don't like to pay full price for the games, but at least you can fucking play PC games on the Mac
yeah.
now. Yeah, I'm still like not to bring it up again, but I kind of these days I play a little GTA, a little Borderlands, but aside from that, just this is drawing, man. To me,
Okay,
drawing is like playing a video game, and
okay.
that's just kind of how it feels to me.
Which I can understand. So
But
the in my two cents on the Cyberpunk, if you find it on sale, I think it's definitely worth checking it out, especially if you could get the DLC with it. Um, uh, at least I play on the Xbox, so I know on the Xbox side all the bugs and shit is fixed. As far as I know, I think it would be the same on uh PlayStation. PC wise, I believe. I'm not too sure. You might have to do your research on that, but I'm pretty sure
I'll have
they
to
work
check
on the
it out.
bug.
I use an emulator called Play on Mac. It works really well,
Mm.
man. Kind of allows me to like I said, I'm kind of just on Fallout and GTA these days because that's
Oh.
something I can pop in for a few minutes, pop back out and keep working, stuff like that.
Mm.
But I use Play on Mac, so it'll like kind of allow me to play like GTA, Fallout, different like pieces. Far Cry, I'm a huge Far Cry dude too. I'm big on the
Far
open
Cry,
world games, in case you
open
didn't
world.
pick up on that. Yeah, I love the open world games, man. Far Cry is the franchise I've loved for so long. Man. Started with two, been playing them since.
I can definitely understand that. Okay,
Mhm.
open world.
Oh
For
yeah.
me, more of zombies and fighting games. That's for
Oh
me.
okay. Oh, I love me
Uh,
some fighting games. What was your favorite fighting game?
so let me. My all-time favorite fighting game is between Virtual Fire or like Dead or Alive.
Whoa, my man.
Mm.
Nice. Oh, cool. I feel like everyone says Smash Bros.
I mean, for on some fun shit, I can see that. Yeah, Super Smash. But personally, when it comes to like combat, Dead or Alive and Virtual Fighters, it's just something the way how smooth it is to
Mm.
whoop somebody
Oh,
ass. Always been entertaining for me.
dude, Dead or
Uh,
Alive just had it going on, dude.
oh
And it
yeah,
was like, and like, it was, man, I remember I played it as a little kid. This is like the only fighting game where it's like the girl throws a punch and her titties like flap all over. It's like the
yeah.
most like crazily animated fucking game ever, man. It's just so like off the rails. I love it.
And
Uh,
for Virtual Fighter, it was so realistic at the time too. Like they
yes.
almost look alive.
I think 5 was the one I was like really crazy about for Virtua Fighter. I think that was on 360.
It might have been.
Yeah, 5 was on 360. Virtua Fighter 5 was my favorite of those. But Virtua Fighters slept on, man.
Mm. Which they did make a remake for PlayStation.
Did they?
Yeah, they did a remaster for
I played it.
PlayStation.
I played it on Xbox. I mean, I had a 360 when that like
Oh no, I'm
first
talking about
dropped.
PlayStation 5. They did a remaster for it.
Oh, well, good for all those PS5 owners. I'm happy for them.
I am
Damn,
so sorry.
that's cool.
That was supposed to be.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh man.
Oh man, somebody. I guess it was early Christmas for some.
Hey, when my insurance money hits, I might look into it. You know, check
Hmm.
it.
Okay. I definitely feel for you. All right, hey, if anybody ever like to sponsor this man, especially if you're trying to look for a way to get like a nice fire animated 2D animation, maybe you could trade a PS5 with this person.
Yeah, man. Oh, my PS4 had PT on it too, man. Oh, fuck. Such a
PT.
waste. Yeah, remember PT, dude?
Hmm. Like the actual like PT, like the alien
No, no, PT, no, like the game PT, you know?
PT.
Oh,
No, tell me
bro.
about
Bro, you missed out. I feel bad for you. No, I'm just playing, but dude, like there back in like 2015, I think they were planning to make a new Silent Hill game, right? So they
it.
released a demo called PT, and it stood for playable trailer, right?
Okay.
So you it was like a horror game, and it was like kind of like a maze kind of thing, like first person with like ghosts and weird hallways and shit, and it was hard as fuck to beat, right? Takes like 10 hours to beat this playable trailer, quote unquote.
Mm.
The game ended up getting canceled. I think eventually like they ended up coming out with another game as like a compromise. I don't remember totally, but for whatever reason it got canceled. So then people are like selling their PS4s with PT on it for like $1,500 and stuff because they pulled it from the store and everything. It was a whole ordeal.
Oh shit. So when they pulled, did they have the like the full game or just that trailer?
Well, the full game never came out, so all there ever was the trailer, you know. So
Okay.
like, so it was like kind of like this lost like relic, basically, you know.
Okay. And you have
And, and I had it. Yeah, that was a proud one for sure. Mm.
damn.
Yeah, it's all
You
good,
know,
man.
shit, it gotta be. That's a that's all that's you.
Yeah, it's all good. Most of my gaming
Mm,
days are kind of behind me since I've been really full force with the freelance. But like I said, my heart still goes out to Grand Theft Auto. Still goes out to
mm.
Borderlands. I love those games. I'll probably be
Which
playing those till I die.
which a new I'm not sure whenever we already know GTA 6 is coming. But whenever that comes out, whenever. But they did announce a new Borderlands game.
They did. They sure did, didn't they?
Uh yeah, they
That
sure
I love. I always think of the Onion article where it's like bad news for Sonic fans. A new Sonic game is coming out.
mm.
And
So
now it's like I feel like that with Borderlands because it's like now whenever one comes out, it's like all these problems, and it's like because Borderlands 3 was like this huge. they hyped it up so big, and it like became this like this. It was this like you play it and it's like feels really unfinished and stuff, and then you read about all the problems Gearbox was having and stuff, and their CEO embezzling a bunch of money and shit, and like
Yeah.
uh, oh, it just sucks. But I play the fuck out of Borderlands 2 still to this day. I think it's the greatest game ever made.
Okay. I appreciate you telling me. I just seen a bundle to get all three of them, and I was just like, do I want to do that, or is it
Uh,
just some just a prefer to
I,
check it?
hmm. I would say if you're gonna play it through like just the once and then forget about it, I would say it's worth it. Borderlands 3 is solid for that. But if you're a big Borderlands fan and you are into like maxing out your characters, like setting up different skill trees, matchmaking with friends and doing like long raids and stuff like that, if you're really into Borderlands like that, I it's just hard to say. Like there's just not as
Mm,
much. There's just not as much there as two had. You know.
okay. Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, that's just me though.
It's definitely great to to have you on this podcast, so we could definitely finally shout you out to this Hank, ladies and gentlemen. This is the guy that we've been referring you to that do animation. He's not a ghost or something that we just made up. He's actually
I'm real. Hello.
he's actually a person. So it's good to finally have you on this podcast, promote yourself, and you
It's nice
definitely
to finally
welcome.
be here.
And you're definitely welcome to come back and promote yourself, whenever. Um, but before you go, uh, shout out all your platform. Shout out anybody that you want to put on, and then I guess that like a song that I usually do to have tune in. How can or damn, I'm trying to think of an issue one.
Hmm.
Uh, hmm. Yeah, I don't even have like an exit for you really yet. I'm gonna have to think of that next
Yeah,
time.
you're good, man. Well,
Uh,
I'll say one thing. I am ecstatic to be here, man. Thank you for having me. Really, I've been looking forward to this a long time, and I'm really happy we got to make it happen today. Uh, yeah, you can find me on every social media platform you can think of. I will just say that it would take me too long to just list them all. But MasonNeedLadder, MasonNeedladder. And you can hit me up all hours of the day because I never go to sleep. I never stop working. I'm crazy as fuck like that. And I will take care of your shit with diligence and with great time management. I appreciate you even checking out my page if you get that. Thank you very much.
okay. All right. Uh, Before you leave, we're gonna chat a little bit after this part. This is where we're gonna end it off.
All right.